Once upon a time, there was a king who lived in a huge kingdom. He was kind, but he had a problem. He was lazy. He never did any work himself. He always asked his servants to do everything. The only things he enjoyed were eating and sleeping. Everyone was tired of his laziness. But they didn't have any idea what they could do. One day, the king became sick. He called for doctors from all over the kingdom. The doctors came for his treatment. They checked him and gave him many medicines. Days passed, but the king didn't get better. He was just as sick as before. This made the king very angry. He thought the doctors were not doing their job well. He ordered his soldiers to put all the doctors in jail. The soldiers obeyed and locked up the doctors. Everyone in the kingdom was worried. They wondered how the king would get better now. One day, a saint came to see him. The king said,
"O holy man, what is wrong with me? I feel sad and sick."
The holy man was very wise. He examined the king, but found no sign of sickness. He realized that idleness was the only cause of his illness. But he had already heard about the fate of the other doctors, who had failed to cure him with medicines. So he hesitated to tell the truth. He thought and thought, and at last said,
"O king, you have been suffering from a peculiar disease, and no medicine can cure you."
The king was disappointed.
"Is there no way out?"
He sadly asked. The wise saint said,
"Let me meditate tonight and try to find out the remedy."
With this, the saint sat on a corner and closed his eyes to meditate. A long time passed, while everybody waited eagerly for the result. At last, the saint opened his eyes.
"Yes, there is only one remedy,"
he said.
"You just put on the shirt of a happy man, and you will be all right."
"It is very easy,"
the king said.
"I will send my servants to look for a happy man. They will bring me his shirt."
The king sent his men in search of a happy man and ordered them to bring his shirt. They went to so many villages and towns. They met a large number of people, but they found nobody who was really happy with his life. Whomever the servants asked,
"Gentlemen, are you happy with your life?"
everybody counted so many problems. The servants didn't know what to do, nor did they know how they could get the happy man's shirt. At last, the tired servants sat under a banyan tree and began to think what to do. They were sure that the king would punish them like the doctors. Suddenly, they saw a man who was working in his field. He was laughing and singing while at work. As a last attempt, they went to him and said,
Sir, are you happy? Our king is seriously ill. He would be cured only if he could wear the shirt of a happy man.
They added. The man laughed and said,
Of course. I am the happiest man. I work from morning till night. I have no time to be sad.
Will you please lend your shirt to the king?
The servants politely said. Once again, the man laughed loudly for a long time. The servants were baffled. They couldn't realize the reason for his laugh. He stopped after a long time.
It would have been a great pleasure for me to lend my shirt to the king.
The man said.
But I am really sorry. I have no shirt at all.
He added. The servants went back to the king and told him everything. Now the king realized that work is the best medicine to keep a man fit and healthy. From that day on, the king began to work for the welfare of his subjects, and he was no longer ill. Moral: work is the best medicine to keep a person fit and healthy.